Imagine you are sitting in a cold, dark room. Your fingers are broken. Both of your legs are broken. Men with iron rods stand around you, demanding one thing, just one name, just one child's name. And you know that if you give them that name, that child dies, that family vanishes, that future disappears forever. Now, imagine you have 2,500 names buried inside your heart, and you choose silence. This is not a movie. This is not fiction. This happened in real life to a real woman, and most of you have never heard her name. Picture this. It is winter in Warsaw, Poland. The year is 1942. Nazi Germany has sealed off an entire section of the city behind brick walls and barbed wire. They call it the Warsaw Ghetto. Inside those walls, 400,000 Jewish men, women, and children are packed like animals into a space meant for 30,000 people. There is almost no food, almost no medicine. Disease moves through the streets like a ghost, touching everyone. Every single day, people die on the sidewalks. Children with hollow eyes sit against walls, too weak to cry. And the Nazis have a plan, a final plan. These 400,000 people are being slowly prepared for something far worse than this ghetto, something that history would later call the Holocaust. Outside those walls, the rest of Warsaw carries on, heads down, eyes low, afraid, because helping a Jewish person means immediate execution, not prison, not punishment. And yet, one woman keeps walking through those ghetto gates every single day. Her name was Irena Sendler. She was 32 years old. She was barely 5 feet tall. She was a Polish Catholic social worker with dark eyes, a quiet voice, and something burning inside her chest that most people never feel in an entire lifetime. She had obtained a special permit, a medical pass, to enter the ghetto under the excuse of inspecting for typhus disease. But Irena wasn't just inspecting. She was smuggling. She wore a Star of David armband as she walked the ghetto streets, not because she was Jewish, but because she wanted to blend in, to show solidarity, to whisper to herself, "I see you, I am with you." And then she started doing the impossible. She began taking the children out. Babies hidden in toolboxes, toddlers sedated and stuffed inside burlap sacks, older children disguised in Nazi soldier uniforms, infants carried out in coffins, children hidden under the floorboards of ambulances, lying completely still, not making a sound. She trained a dog to bark loudly during her exits so that if a baby cried, if a child whimpered, the Nazi guards at the gate would hear only the dog. Think about that for one moment. A woman, a small, quiet woman, walking past Nazi soldiers every single day with a child hidden in a box, wearing a calm face while her heart exploded inside her chest. This wasn't once. This wasn't twice. She did this hundreds of times. But here is where Irena Sendler did something that reveals the true size of her soul. She knew that after the war, if there was an after, these children would need to find their families. These children needed to know who they were, where they came from, their real names, their history, their identity. So every child she smuggled out, she wrote their name on a piece of paper. Their real name, their Jewish name, their parents' names.
She rolled those papers into tiny scrolls and placed them inside glass jars. And she buried those jars under an apple tree in her friend's Jadwiga's backyard. 2,500 names, buried in the ground, waiting for a world that might never come. October 20th, 1943. The Gestapo, Nazi secret police, broke down her door at midnight. They had been watching her. Someone had talked. They searched every inch of her apartment. They found her lists, but not the jars, not the 2,500 names underground. They dragged her to the Pawiak prison, a place where people entered and were never seen again. And then they went to work on her. They broke her feet. They broke her legs. They beat her through the night, demanding the same question again and again and again. Give us the names. Tell us where the children are. Who helped you? Irena Sendler said nothing. Through every broken bone, through every blow, through every threat, she said nothing. Because in her mind, she could see them, 2,500 little faces, 2,500 heartbeats walking somewhere in the world, because she had carried them in boxes and coffins and burlap sacks. And she would die before she let them down. The Nazis sentenced her to death. But here is where history turns. The Polish underground, a secret resistance network, bribed a Nazi guard on the morning of her execution. Irena Sendler was pulled from the death line. Her name was posted on public lists as executed so the Nazis would stop searching for her. She crawled back into hiding, with broken legs, with broken feet, and she went back to work. After World War II ended, Irena Sendler dug up those glass jars from under the apple tree. She spent years trying to reunite the children with their families. But most families were gone. Auschwitz had swallowed them. She matched what names she could. She found what families survived. And for the children whose families had vanished, she wept privately, alone, carrying a grief that never fully left her. She saved 2,500 lives, and for decades, the world said nothing. Communist Poland suppressed her story. The world moved on. Irena Sendler went back to her quiet life, older now, walking with difficulty on the legs they had broken, never asking for recognition. She said, and I want you to feel every word of this, I could have done more. This regret will follow me to my death. Here is the part of this story that should make every one of us sit up straight. The world did not rediscover Irena Sendler through historians, not through politicians, not through Hollywood. In 1999, 4 teenage girls from a tiny town in Kansas, Megan, Elizabeth, Sabrina, and Jessica, chose Irena Sendler as a school history project. They wrote a play called Life in a Jar. They performed it. People cried. The story spread. They tracked down Irena Sendler herself, still alive in her 90s in a small Warsaw apartment, and they flew to Poland to meet her. When they told her that her story was finally being heard, that people in America were learning her name, Irena Sendler, a 90-year-old woman with broken bone memories in her legs, simply said, "Thank you for not forgetting." Irena Sendler died on May 12, 2008. She was 98 years old. She was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2007. She did not win, but she had already won something that no prize can hold. 2,500 lives, 2,500 families, thousands of children born to those children, all breathing today, because one small woman chose broken bones over broken promises. She never asked for a statue. She never wrote a book about herself. She never called herself a hero. She said only this: "Every child saved with my help is the justification of my existence on this earth, and not a title to glory." So, here is the question for you. You will never be asked to smuggle children past Nazi soldiers. You will probably never face a Gestapo interrogation. But life will ask you, it already has asked you, some version of the same question they asked Irena Sendler in that cold prison room.
How much are you willing to endure for what you believe is right? When it costs you something real, when silence would be so much easier, when giving up would end your pain instantly, what do you choose? Irena Sendler chose the children every single time. She buried their names in glass jars under an apple tree, and she carried their faces in her heart through every broken bone. And the world almost forgot her.